Things that I get questions about the very, very most is clarity. That's what women tell me that they want help with. They want help with clarity. They want to get clear on the next step for them so that they can move forward with confidence and know that they're starting off in a smart way, because I work with women who are high achieving, who are driven, who are really motivated to make a difference, but a lot of times they're feeling very overwhelmed by not being sure where to start, and so they wind up approaching it in ways that just keep them stuck or feeling paralyzed or in analysis paralysis or whatever. So I wanted to share with you my top 3 tips for getting clarity. All right? Okay, let's start with number 1. Number 1, and this is, like I said in the title of this scope, it's not what you'd think. Number 1 is to actually step away from it, to give and create some space in and for your brain. Because 90% of our brain is subconscious. So that means that the harder and harder and harder we push, we're really only accessing 10% of our brain. So if you really want to access your full brain and allow it to work for you, one of the best ways to do that is to take a break from this thing you've been striving so hard to get an answer on. All right? It is really important to make sure that you are giving yourself space and doing that consistently. Little mini breaks during the day, and even a full day off a week. Now, this is coming from somebody who never could take time off in the beginning of my business, never could give myself permission to do that. I always felt I had to be busy or I was missing out on something. But I have learned how damaging that was and how much more productive I am. I'm going to move to get out of the sun a little bit here. All right? How much more productive I am now when I take time off. Okay? This is really, really important to think about. Taking time off actually is one of the best things you can do for your business. It's not being lazy. It doesn't mean you're going to miss out on something. It means that you're taking care of yourself, because at this point in your business, chances are you are your business, right? So if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not taking care of your business. And our bodies and our minds need rest. And the great thing about that is you're still being productive, because your mind is still working on all that stuff, just like it does when you sleep. Just like it does when you sleep. So really, really important to create some space in your brain to allow it to work on these things that you just feel like you're stuck over. And you can start with 5 minutes a day to not be obsessing, worrying, thinking about it. To do something else. It's like that whole idea of the shower principle, where you take a shower and the great creative idea comes to you when you're not thinking about it. It's just your brain at work. So use that to work for you, okay? Number 2, as Marie Forleo says, this is one of my favorite quotes, clarity comes from being engaged, not from thinking about it. Most of us have this very, very backward, okay? We think that we need to get started, or we think that we need to think about it and have a perfect, clear plan before we get started. We think we need the next several months, we need whatever, in order to do this right. We need to know what it's going to look like. The truth is, think about headlights on a road. Jack Canfield, the guy who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul and other books, he said, think about it like headlights on a road. You can drive from LA to New York at night, only seeing 200 feet in front of you from your car's headlights. But if you never move, you're only going to see those same 200 feet. You're just going to be sitting there. So if you're sitting there thinking about it, you're only going to be seeing the next 200 feet. Same 200 feet. Once you start moving, you see more. And this is what I see so many women having trouble with, is feeling like they need to know the entire plan before they get started. And the truth is, nobody who's been successful ever knows for sure the entire actual plan, okay? It's just not how it works in reality, but somehow we've gotten that myth in our heads and we hang on to it like stubborn girls with our hands folded over our chests going, no, I have to know, I have to know, I have to know before I get started. And so a lot of us never start. If you want clarity, the very best thing that you can do is to start. Now, of course, you're going to balance that with my first tip of giving yourself space in your brain. Starting doesn't mean working on it 1,000 hours a day. It means taking small steps and doing that consistently. It means if you have no idea where to start, you just pick something. You pick something and you move forward with it. This is key. Clarity comes from being engaged, not from thinking about it. You learn what works and what doesn't from trying. Hi, Joni. Welcome. So I really want you to think about that and take that to heart. It can be really scary because the fear of wasting time, the fear of being, of failing is a huge one that I hear from people. The fear of not knowing what I'm doing. But take it from me, you are going to get that clarity when you take a small action, even if it's 5 minutes that you set your timer for. It's also great for overcoming procrastination. Great for overcoming procrastination. Just set a timer for 5 minutes and work on that thing that you've been putting off because it feels too big, it feels too overwhelming, you don't know how to do it, whatever. Clarity comes from being engaged, not from thought. Not from thought. You've already thought about whatever it is that you need to do, plenty, trust me, or whatever it is that you're thinking about doing. You've already thought about it enough. It's time to get started. And in that, you will also find, amazingly, that you're going to get more clarity. Because the more you think about it, the more you keep yourself sitting on that road with the same 200 feet illuminated in front of you. When you start, suddenly more of the road appears. All right, so that's tip number 2. Tip number 1 was create space in your brain. Tip number 2 was clarity comes from engagement, not from thought, as Marie Forleo says. So get engaged, take some action. Any action is better than no action, in my opinion. Any action is better than no action when you are in this spot. And number 3, get some insight, because chances are your next right step is right in front of your nose. Right in front of your nose. And a lot of times, hi Kim, a lot of times we just can't see it because we're too close to it. So what we find is that we are just feeling like we're in our own heads and we're stressing and we're anxious and all of that. And the truth is, sometimes talking to somebody who is very insightful, intuitive, trained in how to do this for you can spot it in 5 minutes. Can help you sort out what feels good to you, what the next right step is right away, because they're not so close to it. I know I've experienced that in my life, and that's also one of the things that I do for the women in my community. Right, Kim? So I am offering free 30-minute calls with me to help you figure out your next right step, to help you get some clarity. This is all about you and whatever you need clarity around. So I want to encourage you to take advantage of this. It's like worth several $100s. My 3-month packages go for $5,000. And I'm offering you a 30-minute call with me to get clear on your next right step, totally for free. Crazy, right? My mission is to be of service and to help as many women know that as many women as possible know that no matter what they've been through, no matter what they're experiencing now, no matter what they feel like is holding them back, what they're afraid of, what they've been hurt by, what they've been held back by, it's possible not only to survive, but to thrive. You know my story. You know I've been through what many psychologists believe is the worst loss you can experience, and I've survived it, and I've learned how to turn that into good and share that with the world. And so now, that's what I do. And so out of that mission to be of service, I want to help and encourage and inspire as many women to live their purposes as possible because I found mine. I found my calling, and I know how good that feels to wake up every morning and know that I'm doing what I was created to do. And that's what I want for you too. So that's what these 30-minute next right step calls are. All right, you can go lifewithpassion.com, go to the contact page. Let's chat, can't wait to meet you. And fill this out. Quick little note, and we'll get back to you with time slots on my calendar that work for your time zone, okay? All right, go back to the contact page here. lifewithpassion.com/contact. There it is up in the corner. Great opportunity to connect with me. We can talk horses if you want. That's my Graylee, my gelding. 11 now. So, questions, any questions? To repeat these top 3 tips. Number 1, create space in your brain. Make sure you're taking little breaks every day and at least 1 full day off a week, all right? Number 2, clarity comes from being engaged, not from thinking about it. Not from thinking about it anymore. You've thought about it enough. It's time to start. You're using a lot of energy to think about it and it's not getting you anywhere. Number 3, because also I'll add to that, the most successful people make up their minds quickly and change their minds slowly. They make decisions quickly and they change their minds slowly. They not only make decisions quickly, but they execute quickly. They follow through very quickly. These are not people who ruminate on things forever. They make decisions because they realize that even a wrong decision is better than making no decision, because making no decision still is making a decision, except it doesn't have any outcome except nothing. All right, number 3, get some insight from somebody who is intuitive, insightful, an expert in what you want, an expert in what you want to know, somebody who can quickly identify the things that you want answers to and can help you and see what feels and sounds right to you, see what resonates with you. I was a career counselor full-time for several years, a trained career counselor. I've been a professor at the graduate and undergraduate level. Kim, I'm working on getting past being a perfectionist. Awesome, you're a recovering perfectionist, right? So many of us who are high achieving are. It's just the way it goes. Somehow in that process of, becoming very high achievers and becoming driven, we also learn to be really afraid of failure. And so I think it's the ones who are working past it and are acting in spite of it that actually, find success, as opposed to the ones who, some people are super talented, super capable, but they're too afraid to start because they're a perfectionist. They don't want to fail. And so we never get to hear from them. We never get to learn from them because they're too busy hiding. And I take a stand for those women because I know I can help them get past it. And I know I have been there too. And so many of my clients have as well. They come to me with this major fear of failure. They think it's about finding the right tool. They think it's about finding the exact right message. But the truth is, it's what's going on in here and in here that's holding them back from showing up, from being visible, from finding their ideal clients and providing the incredible value that they have. So number 3 is getting insight, knowing that it's probably right in front of your nose and trusting that talking to somebody who has that kind of insight and can quickly help you figure out your next right step can be great for you, can be life-changing. That's what women say when they get on the phone with me for 20 or 30 minutes. You just changed my life. Oh my gosh, I've never thought about it that way. So you can request one of these free 30-minute calls with me right here. Not right there, not on my calendar. Don't look at that. It'll make you cry. livewithpassion.com/contact. Let's chat. Can't wait to meet you. Send me a message and we'll get back to the calendar and get you scheduled so that you can get the kind of clarity that you are dreaming of. All right? Any questions before I go today? Are we feeling good? Are we feeling pumped up? Are we feeling ready for the day? Take some small action and also give yourself a break. And maybe your small action is to book a call with me. It'll take you 1 minute. Book a call with me. Know that and trust that it's a great move for you. Sometimes people show up nervous or they're afraid to. 30 minutes is all about you and getting you the clarity that you want. Look, I'm not scary. I used to say that because I didn't know why boys weren't asking me out. And my mom would say, well, maybe they're intimidated by you. And I'd be like, why? I'm not scary. And then I'd realize that was pretty scary to a teenage boy. Awesome, Kim. All right. Well, you have a great day. Way to start your morning off right. Everybody, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for joining me on this Friday morning. Thanks for the love and the comments. It's great to see you here. I love sharing this space with you. And I hope to hear from you. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.